Canadian core band Comeback Kid are back with their 7th album titled Heavy Steps, continuing to wave the flag for hardcore as the genre's biggest band not named Hatebreed. Or Knocked Loose. Or does Code Orange still count? Whatever, they're big for a hardcore band, alright? Greetings hard and heavy music fans. I'm Dante, you're watching the Heavy Haystack, and today I'm talking about the new album from Comeback Kid titled Heavy Steps. Formed in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada in 2002, Comeback Kid has grown over the years to be one of the top names in hardcore punk. They first broke big with their 2005 record Wake the Dead, which features their trademark song of the same name. That track and one from their next record, Broadcasting... found their way into video games of the time like Burnout Revenge and NHL 2K8, helping grow their fan base. Remember heavy music getting into video games? I remember. These days we got Doom and not much else. They later went on to release the record Symptoms Plus Cures in 2011, which has my favorite track of theirs called Do Yourself a Favor. And the critically praised Die Knowing in 2014. Their last for longtime label Victory Records, which is probably a good thing considering Victory has a habit of screwing over bands that grow past a certain point. Anyway, the band has held a mostly consistent style their whole career, staying well within the realm of hardcore punk that's not overly metal infused like many bands who call themselves hardcore these days. Power chord riffs, fast tempos, D-beat drums, and shouty vocals with plenty of group sing-alongs and chants. Something that has changed over time for the band is their increasing diversity in their songcraft, as well as a growing appreciation for mid-tempo chunky riffs that typically appeal to modern heavy hardcore and metal fans. This growing lean into that style was enough for them to get signed to metal as fuck label Nuclear Blast, starting with their last album Outsider in 2017. A quality heavy effort that also had a most metal and interesting feature on the track Absolute with Devin Townsend. That track has grown to become one of their most popular, and this current record Heavy Steps features another odd feature from the prog metal world with Gojira's Joe Duplantier on the track Crossed. Even the opening riff sounds Gojira-esque, yet not out of place in CBK's hardcore sound, the isolated needle-like lick acting as a distinctive intro and mid-track bridge. That gets balanced out with a back and forth of chunky headbanger chords and D-beat driving punk rhythms, making for a well-rounded track that's an album favorite. The other singles from this album also lean heavy on being primal pit starters. The title track and album opener Heavy Steps starts with quick build-up into some mid-tempo, two-stepping riffage that leads into the strongest anthem chorus of the album, showing the band's melodic hardcore style they're known for, making this as trademark of a Comeback Kid song as there can be. No Easy Way Out was the first taste fans got of this record a few months back. It has an infectiously catchy main guitar riff with a sing-along vocal hook that's a definite banger for the live setting, as well as a call and response pattern between the guitar and vocals for the verses. Also, with this being just a 2.5-minute banger, it makes its point quickly without overstaying its welcome. Other songs of the chuggier ilk can be found in deep cuts like Dead on the Fence, which is prime spin kick your neighbor in the face material with its main stomping riff and darker atmosphere complete with minor key guitar leads and church bells. Shadow of Doubt follows a similar structure, but with added DB rhythms to up the tempo for circle pits. As much as I and many metal fans should like all these heavy hardcore tracks, longtime fans of the band may not be as stoked about this album's strong lean towards pit-fueled chugga-chugga riffs. While that's long been an element of Comeback Kid's sound, the band seems to have made their name more on being a melodic hardcore act, relying more on the fast punk rhythms and big anthems that up their accessibility. But there's plenty of that style to be found on this record too. Besides the aforementioned title track, Face the Fire leans more punk and anthemic, having much more melody in its composition, including a sing-along chorus, but still with a breakdown included because, you know, it's hardcore. Deep Cut Standstill also goes strong on melody, going the classic hardcore route with a straightforward punk beat, start and stop dynamics with the guitars, and a powerfully strong, catchy chorus. Closer, Menacing Weight also is melody focused, being a bit more emotive in nature. A lot of that mood aided by the guitars going for lead tones and notey riffs over chords, and the vocals going for a clearer shout to drive the emotion home. Overall, Heavy Steps accomplishes a lot. It leans heavier into metallic hardcore stylings than a lot of their material, endearing them to metal fans who may be newly discovering them through their current home in Nuclear Blast Records. Metal fans who claim to not like hardcore, but enjoy crossover like Municipal Waste and DRI, can probably latch onto a band like Comeback Kid, especially with their growing embrace of metallic elements. But their longtime punk and hardcore leaning fans will still love this record, as it keeps much of their anthemic nature and fast punky style that the group made their name on. This record doesn't reinvent the wheel of hardcore punk, but stands as a top-tier example of what all the genre can do and bring to the table quality-wise. Comeback Kid's Heavy Steps gets a 3.5 out of 5. There's enough here to enjoy and respect, and no tracks that I could really call weak, and bigger fans of pure hardcore punk might rate this album even higher, but for a more metal-leaning fan like myself, I can enjoy it as well too. Could use a few more tracks on the level of Cross and Heavy Steps to rate this a bit higher. What did you think of the album? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe to the Heavy Haystack if you want to see more videos similar to this one. Peace, love, music, and I'll see y'all next time.